Okay, so I have set up, as you can see, a plane, and I added some noise modifier to it to make it look like snow, and then I just threw a little snowman in there right quick. Set up a camera and set up a sunlight system. Okay, and so what I want to do now is I want to go to particle systems and snow. Okay, so what you're going to do with this is you're going to come in your top view, and I want it to snow over my entire plane. So I'm drawing the particle system around my plane. And, you know, as always, it's put it on the ground, so I need to pick it up. And you'll see there's an arrow, well, without the arrow head, but it's the direction that it's going to snow. And so I'm picking this up and putting it where the clouds would be. And now when I play this, I get snow. Now normally it doesn't work like that. It just worked beautifully. Normally what happens is it just dumps your snow all at once. So let me show you the parameters. Okay, so viewport count is the number of flakes you're going to see in the viewport, and render is the number of flakes that are going to render out. To speed up the process of watching this while you're setting it up, most people reduce this number. I don't. I like to see what I have. This is how big they are, the size. If you're getting dots, you can make this number bigger. If they're too big, you can make it smaller. And let's just, I like to show you the extremes here. Let's just play this out. See, those are just way too big. They like destroy everything. It's kind of cool though. But okay, so I had that down, and ooh, that's kind of cool. You could go advance and then scale them while they're in the sky so you can see. If they're too small, you just get dots like that. If you don't see anything, it's definitely too small. But usually if it's too small, you just get dots. How fast they're going, this is the speed. Variation is how much they vary from each other. Do they tumble? Let's turn that on. I'll show you what that does. If you can see it. So they spin. They're going pretty fast. Snow doesn't go that fast. Let's make that slower. Let's go about half. Oop, I didn't mean to go that far. Let's play it and see. It's still going too fast. Yeah. Oh, whoops. I'm going to get it down to about 5. There we go. That's still too fast. That's pretty good. But you see what's happening is they're not hitting the ground. Okay, good. Something went wrong and she had to fix it. So flakes, dots, ticks, render, what you're going to see when you render out, 6-point, triangle, or facing. Okay, timing. This is starting exactly when we start the animation. They're literally falling out of the sky right at, and that just doesn't happen in the real world. Either we're going to show up on a scene and it's already snowing, or it's going to snow after we get there. So let's go ahead and change that start rate to a minus number so it starts snowing before we get there. And I'm going to pick minus 100 because I have 100 frames. So that means that by the time, that didn't even work. That wasn't even soon enough. They haven't hit the ground. Oh, they're not going to hit the ground because I got to fix that too. Okay, so let's change that to minus 300. So it'll have started snowing before we got there. Life is how long they last before they melt. And in this case, they're melting after 30 frames. So watch. At 30 frames, they melt. And you can see that happening with all of them. They melt at right about that point. Well, we want them to go longer. We want them to go beyond. So we're going to add 300 and then the number of frames we have. And and we'll make them last for 400 frames at least, and then they keep going. They don't die on us. They don't melt. Oh, now, see how much better that looks? I like the one that just flashed in front of the screen, too. That looks much more realistic. But I don't think we have enough snowflakes. So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to add and change it to 150. 150. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, I like that a lot. Pretty good. Okay, and then constant, that's fine, we can do that. And then this is our emitter, and just telling us how big it is. This is what, the emitter is this thing. And you're going to see it doesn't snow beyond that. And it does snow beyond the plane, which in this case, it doesn't matter because nobody can see beyond the plane. But if you didn't want this to happen, there are things you can do, and they're more advanced, but they work with deflectors. There are deflectors in the, let's see, those are under, I always forget, deflectors. And so what would happen is you would put a deflector on the bottom pointing up, and it would cause, like, especially if you're using rain, it would cause it to bounce off that surface. Because this is a basic class, we're not going to get into that yet. For now, you're just using the particle system. Okay, so that's just a basic snow particle system. And that's all it does. It just shoots down snow. Now you can change it to triangles. I don't know what a facing is. I've never done facing before. It still looks like a triangle to me. I mean, it still looks like a 6-point. They all look the same. I don't know, those are pretty cool. And look at the beautiful scene. Now, when I render this out, and I'm just going to render this. You're going to see my flakes are red. And I want to change that color right there to white. Okay, render that again. There we go. They don't look as good rendered out, do they? So, and it's because, oh, that's interesting. No, I changed that to 150. Let's change it to 200. Oh, it's a 6-point star like that. Oh, I like these little asterisks better. I don't use this anymore. I use something else. It's much more complicated. It's not changing it. That would allow me to actually use that. Oh, it keeps resetting my account. Look, it keeps resetting my account. Why is it doing that? I guess it's not letting me do more than 200, and I don't know why. Oh, well, it should. Okay. That's weird. It wasn't letting me type it in. It'll let me scrub it. Very Studio Max. It's weird. I seriously have been working with this program for, what, 22 years? Always does stuff I've never seen before and does weird stuff. And you'll see, as you guys, those of you guys that want to do this for a living, you'll encounter other people talking about how annoying it is because of how glitchy it is. I do sometimes in forums see people lament the frustration of 3D Studio Max's glitchiness. Okay, so that's snow. There are other particle systems. And you're going to see something called a PF source. And the minute I click on this, you guys are going to be like, oh my God, don't make me use that. It's really complicated because it has a setup system that looks like this. Oh, there's nothing. We haven't put anything in there. You have to start connecting hoses and stuff with this thing. Okay, so I think I'm going to show you guys Blizzard or maybe... Okay, so spray works a lot like Blizzard, except it lets you do drops, dots, or ticks. It used to be called... Did it used to be called rain? I thought it used to be called rain or something. But spray is rain. But because you can turn it upside down and use it as a particle emitter up, like water, or you can use it to do other sprays, like a hose, it's called spray. And then there's super spray and particle array. So some of these are really complex. Let's see, I'm trying to figure out which one I want to show you guys next. Particle cloud's pretty cool. Alright, well, you're going to have to come back for the next video to find out.